The sicko. Terry, nice to meet you, Terry.
I have it on record. I'm going to get out of the way. It's on record.
Oh, buddy, we got audio, visual, and recording.
I'm not tall enough to see me. Sorry.
No, you kind of look like Kilroy if you did this.
She's shrunk a lot.
Yeah, I'm 5.5 inches shorter than my tallest height. So, and I might be shorter than 5 feet tall now. Who knows?
Hun, we got to get you better. Okay. Yeah, 9 compression fractures. The worst I've ever seen is 12. Okay, so you got a ways to go to be really, really sick.
Thank you.
Okay, I got a couple of questions for you, but do you have any questions for me before we start?
No.
Okay.
Can I? Oh, here I am.
Yeah. Hey, cool. Hi, Erin.
Hi.
So what questions do you have?
Well, I think Mom, go ahead first. And
I don't have a question right now.
Okay. Well, my question is how bad is too bad? And I don't know we want to get her down to see you. How do we do this?
When the person's not breathing, that's hard to help.
Okay.
When you look at osteoporosis, has not a disease of the bone, it's actually acidic blood. So it's from physical, chemical, or emotional stress. And what the body's doing, the lungs aren't functioning correctly. So there's going to be a problem with the nerves that control it. The diaphragm's not going to be working. Mm-hmm. And so the acidity level of the blood is through the roof. So the body goes to the bone bank to withdraw calcium to alkalinize the system. And so the osteoporosis is not a problem with the blood or the bones. It's literally physical, chemical, and emotional stress. Knowing that you've had the exposure to flu shots is just mind-blowing.
Well, allergy shots, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's nuts to begin with. I mean, what animal species is allergic to your environment?
I've had 2,000 allergy shots.
It's mind-blowing.
My son was born with huge issues because of that, because I was pregnant with him when I was still getting them. And both the pediatrician and the doctor said, no problem. Well, they were lying. They didn't know any better.
Darling, if you knew the research, like I know the research, there's not a lot of truth being taught.
Too late now. So what can we do now? Because I want to be better.
On the plus side, you're given all the exact symptoms, and if I could use you as a perfect example to teach doctors with what's going on. The shaking and the tremors is your brain readapting to this to generate new neurons. The bones are being thinned because the blood is acidic. And the emotional stuff, that has to do with the frontal lobe. And that's going to be the altered signals from the cerebellum. Now we're going to explain all this crap out in detail. But what kind of drugs are you taking now?
Only my heart medicine, which is escaping me at the moment.
Lisinopril.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blood pressure.
Blood pressure.
Yeah.
So she's going to a naturopath.
And a diuretic. It's combined, heart medicine and diuretic.
Yeah, so
she's going to cut the dose in half, but not right now. It's not that
much. Well, we've lost her a bit. Okay.
What can you do and hear you?
Okay, hon. Well, when you look at the diuretic, this is going to cause heart palpitations, and you don't have a problem with blood pressure. Okay, so you're taking a drug you don't need. I'm going to show you how to check your blood pressure, and you're going to find out it's normal.
Okay, I have a good blood pressure cuff.
Okay, good. I'm just going to show you how to check it.
Okay.
Now, how many kids do you got?
Well, Jeremy's in heaven, and Aaron is my remaining child.
Okay, so you're not good at math. That's 2.
You said, okay. I thought you said remaining. Sorry.
No, you're a ridiculously sweet gal, but hey. Okay. So how long have you been taking the blood pressure drugs?
This year.
6 months,
at least 6 months. I don't have the exact date in front of me.
Okay, totally cool. Now we can get you better. Okay, so there's 3 things that we have to do to get your body healthy, and your body will regenerate the bones. The postural distortions from the fractures, the way the body works is the bones are typically square, and what an osteoporosis fracture is the front part of the bone gets destroyed. So a normal bone would be square.
Right.
The back half is where the nerves come out, and the body is only going to deteriorate the front part of the bone to get the calcium out to alkalinize the blood, but it's going to save the integrity of the nervous system. So non-pathologic fractures look like this. Okay, so there's going to be a postural distortion a bit. Okay, but the bones remodel. There's a law called Wolff's Law, where bones lay down where it's needed, resorb where it's not. So we're going to be able to fix some of the postural distortions. Number 1, we got to get you to a corrective chiropractor ASAP. Either getting down here, like right now I'm in our clinic in Mexico. I'm here 2 days a week, and I'm at the other clinic 3 days a week. Okay, but if I'm going to send you a list of 7 questions. Okay, and it's to find a corrective chiropractor. You find anybody in your neck of the woods that says yes to 5 of the 7 questions, we got a good guy. I'm going to give you a no-charge half-hour consult if we find a chiropractor close to you, so we can start getting care now. Okay, if they have any questions. I'm going to send you a list of x-rays that we need, because we have to look at the structure. We need to see how your body bends one side, how it bends the other side. Because in order to change the emotional aspect of this, that's frontal lobe. The brain is involved in 3 different, in different lobes. The frontal lobe, we're talking anxiety, stress, depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and it's all controlled by the cerebellum. And this means that if you have alterations in movement, you have alterations in function of that. Okay, so we have to change that structure in order to change the brain. Now, all of the stuff you got going on, there's only 3 things we got to fix. We got to fix the physical stress, the chemical stress, and the emotional stress. Okay, it's still illegal in Oregon to shoot physicians, so you can't load the shotgun and shoot the allergy shot because they shot you.
I wouldn't shoot that person. They didn't know any better.
No, I'm just talking like a rubber bullet just to irritate them. Okay, so this, we've got to get you healthy. So the list of 7 questions and the x-rays that we got to get. Now, I'm going to send you the pelvic health video. When you look at your foot, is your big toe starting to lean towards the other toes?
I have socks on right now, so I can't answer that, but I don't think so.
I can just about guarantee it is. Okay, your pelvis is going to be unstable. And in this, because your gait is going to be unstable. I know. The feet are down there really far.
Fuck off.
Okay.
The big toe, yes, it's touching. Yeah, and I'm having problems. I'm having problems. I still have a little numbness from the edema left in my feet.
Darling, yeah, I know. And they're giving you a toxic substance that damages the heart to take care of the edema. Okay, I know. Okay, that's what the swollen belly is. Okay, so what that means is that you have a pelvic trauma and you have a neck trauma. Now we have this automatic nervous system composed of 2 parts. One part keeps you alive under stress. That's the sympathetic nervous system. That's working fantastically well on you. The other part that regenerates tissue is called the parasympathetic. That is not working well on you. Okay, now the parasympathetic is literally located in the pelvis and the neck area. So I'm going to show you little exercises to start getting the pelvis stabilized and to get the neck working correctly. Because we've got to get you walking in order to change this, because bones heal fast. I mean, you're talking if you actually break a bone, 4 to 6 weeks later, it's brand new. And it's not only brand new, it's better than brand new because they always build up the break a little bit stronger than the surrounding bone.
What do you mean by get me walking?
Well, walking in a correct gait. Right now, your gait is awful.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about altering brain function, we need appropriate stimulation of the brain. Okay. And in order to get appropriate stimulation of the brain, we have to have symmetrical movements. And knowing that all this crap has been going on with you for a while, we know that the feet aren't working correctly and the knees aren't working correctly and the pelvis isn't working correctly. Okay, so I'm going to send you exercises to start changing that. And they're weird exercises. I mean, you're going to look at one that your ball of your foot's going to be on a block and you're going to be stretching your calf. And the reason is in the calf, there's a muscle called the soleus. And that's actually has a pump mechanism in it. Figure your foot is really far away from the heart. So the way you're designed in the calf muscle is actually a pump. So when you're looking at leg swelling, it's not a heart medication, okay, that a diuretic is. It's literally toxic substances that's causing the kidneys to work so you lose fluid.
That exercise you mentioned, it sounds to me like I have to be down on the floor to do it.
No, you don't.
Good.
It'd be almost impossible to get down on the floor. And I know your mobility is going to be really trashed.
Yes, I couldn't. And I have hardwood floors and I do have an exercise mat, but I haven't used it in 10 or 12 years.
All the stuff I'm going to tell you, you're going to be in the sitting position.
All right, thank you.
We're going to get you healthy enough to where you can get up and down off the floor.
Great.
Okay, so anytime you see a barrier, you throw it up, I'm going to knock it down. Okay, I'll have a ram's horn here and it'll be worse than Jericho. Okay, so this, when I send you the pelvic health video, okay, you're going to see exercises in there for your feet and your knees. Okay, do them. I'm supposed to hear, yes, I will.
Yes, doctor.
I know Oregon's not that far from me, hon. I can come up.
She's not in Oregon. I'm in Oregon.
Oh,
she's in Santa Rosa.
I'm in Santa Rosa.
Oh, Santa Rosa. California's. I'm in California.
Yeah.
Baja, California now.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I send you the 7 questions, if we find somebody up in your neck of the woods, they're going to give a trochanter support, and all it is something to stabilize the pelvis. There's an exercise you're going to be doing when you're sitting. And this is going to start to restore the blood supply and nerve supply. Like right now, if you're in a chair with a back, you can get a water bottle about this diameter, about one of those quart water bottles.
Yeah.
And we're going to start exercising right now. Because the more force loading that we change on the bones can start to remodel themselves. And knowing that you've had recent fractures, the best time to start is now. Okay, so if you find a water bottle, where it's going to be put is behind your back like this. But where it's going to be put, the location is the bottom of your elbow, is the bottom of this structure. Now we use foam pieces that are really, really firm.
That would be my lower back.
Pretty darn close to it. It's going to be at the junction of the lumbar and the junction of the, what?
I have supports there all the time because
I know they're not working, hon.
So curved. Oh, I know. It's a pillow, but sometimes I put something harder back there.
I know. This is going to work. So if you got a liter bottle of water anywhere, get it. Okay.
I have a quart mason jar, but it's glass.
That'll work. That will work. Get the mason jar.
Okay.
Get the mason jar, while we're talking. Not you. We've got Wayne in the back. You got to be here. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So my concern a little bit with her is she's been going to a chiropractor for years, and she blames him a little bit for the compression fractures because he was using that percussion instrument after
Uh-huh.
her hip fracture happened and they put a pin in. He was using that percussion instrument that I've seen you guys use. And she said that it hurt so bad. And that's when her fractures kind of started and her back issues started. So that's a little bit of a concern with me, is is that possible that it hurt her?
It's possible to use it in the wrong direction at the wrong frequency to irritate tissue. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, absolutely.
I have something to add about that.
Yes, my
I
dear.
went to him for many, many years, and I always asked him to use the stimulator on me, not his physical pushing and stuff, because I'm just sensitive. I'm sorry. I've been hit too many times in my car. I've been hit several times in the car. Okay, I have the bottle behind my lower back. Anyway,
Okay, but where?
last
Oh,
time I
hold
saw
on.
him.
Darling, wait 1 second.
Okay,
Because I want to put it in the right place. It's not
All
going to be behind the back. It's going to be at the junction of the rib cage and low back. Okay, so it's going to be up higher than a lumbar support. Higher than a lumbar support. So the bottom of your elbows is going to be the bottom of the bottle. So we don't want it in the curve of the back. We want it right at the junction. So make sure it's at the bottom of the elbow or a little bit higher. It's going to be a tad uncomfortable, and that's okay. Eventually, it's going to be placed back there for 20 minutes. It'll be taken out for 10 minutes, but it'll be placed back there for 20 minutes. Now, this is
on my elbow,
not,
touching it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not for comfort. What this is going to start to do is create a negative pressure on the front, and that area where you're placing it is the actual end of the spinal cord.
It's making me sit up straighter.
Well, tall in the saddle. I'm a John Wayne fan.
I've been watching The Duke recently.
Oh my gosh, you got good taste, my dear.
Because I have no cable, and it was the one channel I could get on was the Western Channel, so I watched it.
Well, when we talk about the chiropractor, he may be okay, but he's got to change his technique. The little activator thing.
Okay, I won't go to him again. I'm sorry. He didn't even.
Okay, well, hon, I'm just talking to anyone. I'm going to send you a list of 7 questions.
Thank you.
You got to ask chiropractors in your area. If you find somebody that says yes to 5 of them, we can work with that guy. I'm going to give you a no-charge half-hour consult if we find a chiropractor, if they have any questions on how to get you better. Okay?
Okay.
With the chiropractor.
With a
with the
consult with the chiropractor.
And we got to get a force loading on that spine in order to regenerate the tissue.
Yeah.
And we got to change proprioception of the brain's awareness of the body and space. Otherwise, the other stuff won't work. There's 3 stressors we got to fix. We got to fix the physical stress, the chemical stress, and the emotional stress.
Okay, good luck.
Okay.
3.
Okay. And right now, hun, you're starting to correct the physical stress by this. Okay. So you can tell I'm not the most patient guy in the world. We start now. Okay. And that's why it's not a heart medicine you're taking. You're taking a drug that's damaging your heart because it's causing the kidneys to work too hard. And the intention is to drain the fluid out of the body. The fluid's in the body because you're in such a stressed state that your stomach has low stomach acid, and you're not breaking the proteins to amino acids. So you've got massive amino acid deficiency. If you ever look at those kids that are starving, every time you see a picture of them, they all have little beer bellies.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's from low protein. And it's not from low protein intake. It's from your body's ability to break down those proteins to amino acids.
Okay.
So it's chronic stress.
Okay.
So now, and when that water bottle or the mason jar gets uncomfortable, hun, you take it out. Your goal is to get up to 20 minutes of having it back there. And then you take it out for 10 minutes. Then you put it back for 20 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, on the pelvic health video, because we got to get the brain working good, the body working good, There's going to be a trochanter support in there and exercises that are very, very simple. Hun, you're in good shape. I'm used to working with really, really sick people. Okay, so believe me, all the stuff I'm going to tell you, but you got to do it. Now, do you have a juicer or blender at home?
Oh, yes, both. But I don't use the juicer anymore. It's too much trouble. I have the Vitamix, and I drink the whole juice with all the fiber and everything.
Okay, we got to break out, dust off the juicer. What the juicer does, it creates soluble fibers. Okay, I know the Vitamix is great. It's fantastic. You're going to be using that too. That's going to be mainly for fruits, but you got to figure your blood is not healthy. That is why the body was withdrawing calcium from the bone bank, because that's a positive ion and it's going to alkalinize the blood. Mm-hmm. The juicing is going to get in the blood and actually clean the blood. Okay. And if you're juicing, let's say you get half a quart of juice. If you get a half a quart blended, you're going to have like an apple, a carrot, a handful of greens, some coconut water, and you're going to blend it up and you'll get all the soluble and insoluble fibers. Fantastic. The juicing, though, you're going to be juicing 4 or 5 carrots, a couple of apples, the volume of nutrients that you're going to get in the system is necessary to reverse the destructive process your body's going through. Okay, it's also going to induce diarrhea, which is going to help alkalinize the system. Now, how many bowel movements a day are you getting?
Well, before the doctors got involved, I had 2 or 3. Now I have 1 or 2.
I know, hon. I know. Okay, so this we're going to get a healthier bowel movement. Okay, and that's going to help your body detox that water as well. Yeah. Okay. Now, do you take any supplements at all?
Yes.
Oh, I'm loaded up with supplements. Thanks.
Okay.
Naturopath.
You don't need that many. Okay. Now, also the supplements have to be in whole food form. If they're in pill form, you're not going to get a lot of absorption. So talk to the naturopath and see if you can get it not in pill form or gel cap or something. See if she can get it in a whole food form. Because you only need vitamin D3, an omega-3, and a mineral supplement made out of plants.
My D3 is liquid.
Excellent. Good. That's 30% of it. Okay, you're going to need some iodine too.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like Lugol's or do
you Lugol's iodine. So because human beings don't require a lot, there's going to be some toxicity, and the naturopath will be prescribing like chlorella or spirulina, and that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking.
But in pill form, right?
Yeah, in pill form.
Yeah, but the weird thing is the chlorella and spirulina, it's just compacted pond scum.
Right.
I mean, doesn't it smell like it? It really does.
I understand that.
It's really algae and but oh gosh, it smells disgusting.
Yeah, it
okay.
does.
Yeah. But that stuff breaks down in stomach acid. It just like explodes. That's perfect.
Maybe I can rent a space at the supermarket and live there and work in the juice bar. Then I can just help myself. You know what? This is going to be really hard for me because my husband works full time and has his mom to take care of. He doesn't even live with me. I live by myself. I can't drive right now. And it's going to be really hard for me to do all this juicing.
Okay.
I'll try to find a way, but I don't.
Can you take an hour a week? Can you take an hour a week? Do you have enough time to take an hour a week? Yes or no?
Yes, depending on what you're talking about doing.
Good. Okay. Because juices, based on the type of juicer, you can freeze them and they'll maintain up to 90% of their antioxidant value. Okay. So I'm talking about juicing 1 hour a week and then storing the juice.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Okay, good.
Many years ago, but I did used to do that.
There's also places that do juicing for you.
Oh, good God. You mean driving to a store and purchasing one?
Right, there's that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hun, okay, can we get on with this stuff?
Yes.
Okay, you stop telling me the stuff you can't do, okay? I'm going to tell you, we're going to get the juice in your system. If you want to juice an hour a week, beautiful. You can store it, freeze it, whatever, but you're just talking an hour of juicing very, very simple stuff.
How
Or you
much
can
does
buy
she drink
purchase
every day?
Yeah, how
with-
much
with
am I drinking a day?
half a quart, 2 pints. I mean, it's not going to be that much.
Okay.
Gee whiz.
Perhaps it's half a quart.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
you can do that.
Yeah, and the supplements, tell the naturopath to get them in, and I'm going to send you a list. And the list I'm going to send you, they're not magical, because people don't need supplements every day. Okay, when they're in a crisis, like the first couple of months, in the first couple of months, we're going to start to get your bones healed. Your broken bones heal within 4 to 6 weeks, brand new. And you've got 9 broken bones that have been there for a while. So we change the force loading, and they're going to start to heal. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, now we have to fix the sleep problem too. Because you're getting up at night to pee, you're not sleeping through the night, or you're going to be fatigued.
I sleep in the
Yeah.
recliner.
She can't lay down in a bed.
I haven't slept in a bed in this whole year.
Okay, well, cool, because I haven't mentioned a bed.
Good. My goal is to get back in the bed, believe me. I'm sick of sleeping in the living room.
Hon, you will get in the bed.
Yeah.
Okay, we just got to fix your circadian rhythm so you can actually get some deep sleep so you can regenerate the body.
Yes.
If I can sleep while the TV is on, that's deep sleep. And I fall asleep.
That is like no more ever. Santa Rosa's about 6-hour drive away from me, the way I drive. Okay, and I will throw that TV through the window if you watch it at nighttime.
Yes, it's bad
Yeah.
for you, Mom.
Enough is enough, okay?
I cannot read at night because my curtains are so thin
Just listen
that
to what he
anybody
has to
passing by can see me. So that's the one thing I can do to turn my mind off to the crap, sorry, that keeps playing over and over and over in my mind about family issues. So that's why I watch TV, to put myself to sleep. And I do go to sleep. I'm sorry. But that's the God honest truth.
Okay, you done now, dear?
Yes.
Okay, good. During nighttime, and we're going to change your circadian rhythm so you can actually get deep sleep. I'm going to show you a more effective way that actually gets you the deep sleep at night that will quiet an overactive mind. Are you interested in anything I have to say?
Sure.
Okay, good. Okay. Good God. You're going to be sleeping eventually in the bed, eventually. But we've got to get a distractive force on the spine so your body can start to regenerate. You already know that if you put a water bottle or a mason jar behind you, it changes your posture. That's going to start to change your posture in the positive. So even when you're sitting in that recliner and you're getting ready for bed, you're still going to be doing the 20 minutes in, 10 minutes off before you're ready to sleep. Now, the reason you have the fractures is because your blood is acidic and you're not able to rebuild. The rebuilding process takes place at night. Figure we have that automatic nervous system. One part keeps you alive under stress. That's called the sympathetic. On you, that's working fantastically well. The other part that's parasympathetic is not working well. That regenerates the tissue. The parasympathetic works at nighttime.
Mhm.
Now, the way human beings work is there's high disease rates at 9 hours or more sleep or 5 hours or less sleep. High disease rates. So what we're going to do, if you look at optimal human function, and right now you're not functioning well, we need to maximize sleep so it can regenerate tissue. Right now you suck at sleep. You're not good at it. Okay, and that means that your regeneration of tissue is not occurring, hence the fractures.
Mhm.
Okay? Okay?
Yeah.
Good. I'm looking for affirmation. Okay, that you heard me. Because I don't know if this sucker's working. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you ways to reset your circadian rhythms. Because what happens is we go through these 90-minute cycles where your body regenerates the tissue. And I'm going to show you how to achieve that, and you will. So now what you do to reset, to quiet an overactive mind, and this is going to be hugely important, is you have to journal. And all this is
I
just
journal
writing
every day.
down.
I've been journaling
Let him
for
finish.
most of my married life.
Let him finish.
Okay, this is going to be a little different. This is going to be a little different. You're just going to write down about a half a page to a few lines, what you did that day, what you're going to do the next day, and any emotionally charged event. No more than half a page.
That's what I do every day.
Okay, fantastic. So if you change it just a little bit, this should be easy. Okay, now reading a paper book, not electronic devices. See, electronic devices emit a blue light which interrupts melatonin production.
I
And
understand that.
And
I
this,
love books. I have a house full of books.
well, you're only going to be reading 15 minutes, and it can't be a really good one. Nothing like Zane Grey or anything, because that'll suck you
I
into a
don't
couple
read
hours of reading.
I like mysteries and
Okay, no Agatha Christie. Okay,
no,
we're talking the Book of Numbers. Okay. Okay, just 15 minutes before bed. So what this does, and this works with people who have Parkinson's and MS, where they can't even read their writing. The fact that you're thinking and your hand is putting down those thoughts, that's why I'm telling you that you have to write down what you did that day, what you're going to do the next day, and any emotionally charged event. That's a certain pattern. And this quiets an overactive mind. Then your eyes go along a paper in a rhythmic fashion. And again, this is programming the subconscious to quiet down. Then we have to look at how your brain works. You go through 90-minute cycles of a deep state of sleep called rapid eye movement, or REM state of sleep.
Yep.
At the end of a 90-minute cycle, your eyes open up. They literally open up. And then this, anytime there's a visual stimulus, bam, your fight or flight system kicks in, and then you got to get up to pee. And so this is where sleep patterns become interrupted. Either get up to pee, or you got to roll over, or something.
Mhm.
Okay, so you need to get nightshade, something really good that you can cover your eyes, but make sure that you're able to open your eyelids while they're in there, because your eyes will be opening up.
I have a scarf that I use. I do all this.
Okay, good. Fantastic, hon. Then I'm not giving you any good advice. I'll give you 100% of my efforts back. Or you're going to listen and change. Okay, now you did the journaling, you did the reading, you got the nightshades on where you can actually open your eyes. You're going to get a white noise application for a cell phone or something. It's going to be set up.
Let him finish.
I don't use cell
that
phone.
you
The
can
only white
purchase
noise thing I have is a fan.
You
And
can go to Walmart and purchase a white noise application set at 528 hertz. You can order it on Amazon. Okay, this way you take out the auditory influence, the visual influence. Okay, then also, when you're sleeping, this is when your body regenerates.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's called an oxidative metabolic process. And this is where the juicing, blending, that all of the plant-based diet comes in. They have antioxidants that allow that healing process to occur. Well, the earth also has an electronegative charge. So if you can sleep on the earth, that would be fantastic.
You're talking about grounding.
Oh my God, yes, thank God. Okay, good. And so go to earthing.com, get the quarter sheet, super simple, and you just put it in there. Okay, you just sleep on it. It plugs into the wall. Now we've got to reset your circadian rhythms.
Everything is a problem.
We have it's on record, Terry. Just listen to what he has to say.
It's on a record, and I'm going to be sending all this stuff off in an email. And then all the people that will love you will explain it to you.
You'd have to see my house to understand
Let
the
him
problem,
finish.
but go ahead.
Okay, well, we're going to be working on the emotional stress in a little bit. I'm going to show you the physical component to that to get the brain to work more effectively. Okay, Right now, we're working in a sequential fashion. We got 3 stressors we got to fix: physical, chemical, and emotional. Then we have to rebuild your body, and then your body is going to be healthy. Do you have any grandkids?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
2 that live in Oregon with my daughter.
Okay, cool. Okay, do you think that they would benefit from your influence? Hell, I've known you for 20 minutes and I think they would benefit. Yeah, I think the whole family would agree that you are valuable.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to get you healthy, not for you. If you don't want to put forth the effort, you don't have to. But the kids need you, so you got to put it forth for them. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, I was Catholic, and that is guilt. With a name like Bergman, I could also give you some Jewish guilt too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm married to a Muslim, so I can give you some Muslim guilt.
Greeks are good at guilt too.
All right. All right. Oompa.
A Greek-
Okay, my dear. Now, we're going to get back to this. So you are right. It is a grounding sheet.
Yes.
But this is the toughest part of anything I'm ever going to ask you. The journaling, the reading, the nightshades, the white noise machine, the sleeping on the sheet, fantastic. That's preparing it. But then we also have to look at how our bodies work. We go through 90-minute cycles called rapid eye movement. And that's why you got to wear the nightshades, a scarf, great. If you can open your eyes with a scarf, because you have to be able to open your eyes. So you may have to purchase some nightshades. Now, we're going to restrict your sleep because there's high disease rates at 9 hours or more sleep or 5 hours or less sleep. So this is a way to reset your circadian rhythms. And it's tough, hon. It is really tough. But I've got some exercises to do in the morning. And yes, you will be standing on these exercises. So it's going to be okay. But you want to go to bed at 10 to 10:30, and then you're going to get up in the morning, 4 to 4:30. If that's too much for you, okay, if that's too much, if this is like just seems overwhelming, just do the journaling, the reading, and the nightshades. Okay.
I'm almost always awake at 4:30 in the morning because
Cool.
I have to get up and pee every 2 hours thanks to whatever.
What happens is,
Thanks to the diuretic.
No, darling. It's not to the diuretic. It has to do with the sympathetic stimulus. Because what happens, you go through 90-minute cycles. At the end of one of these 90-minute cycles, your eyes literally open up and you get more sensitive because you're doing the most healing that your body's ever done. And the way we're designed is after you complete that cycle, your eyes open up and you get more sensitive. This is why you need to purchase a really good set of nightshades so you can open your eyes with this. Because you're going to find out if you're going to bed at 10, you're waking up at, what would it be, 12 o'clock to pee. Then you go back, you pee, then you're going to be waking up at around 2:30 or 3. You're going to see it's around 2-hour cycles. About a half hour to fall back to sleep and 90-minute cycle of rapid eye movement. So taking this out, you'll be able to sleep through the night. Taking the auditory stimulus out with the white noise machine, you're going to be sleeping through the night. Then you're sleeping on a grounded surface. Limiting your sleep would be a great idea because it's literally going to fatigue you out. Now, I will tell you, yes, sir.
I got a question. Doctor, you're talking about the grounding sheet. If she's sitting in a chair to sleep at this point, would the grounding chair be against her back? Would it be under her butt? Where would that grounding sheet?
Yeah. Oh yeah, just anywhere it can possibly touch her. Run it lengthways up and down the chair. All you need, because some of the sheets are like full sheets, like for queen, king, whatever.
Okay,
just get the quarter sheet.
Okay, it's just basically what you're doing is you're creating an earth ground with the sheet. It's like a grounding plane.
Exactly, because the earth has an electronegative charge, and what she's going to be doing when she's sleeping is she's literally going to be regenerating tissue.
That's not an electronic device, right?
No, darling. It just plugs into the grounding socket.
It's tying
All right.
the ground. I got it.
I have one more comment.
Yes.
We live on a very busy street. I've counted over 2,000 cars go by my house every single day. More than that, more than 2,000.
This will help.
So there's
The
never a time that's quiet in any room in this house.
The white
I
noise
told my
machine will
husband
help.
the very first night that we lived here, we made a horrible mistake. I didn't sleep 1 minute last night.
Okay, my dear, we got to take out the visual influence.
And
We
I
got to
have
take out the auditory
earplugs, too.
influence. The auditory influence will be handled with the white noise machine.
Yeah, I've got white noise and it doesn't do a thing.
No, he's talking about a different white noise and it will.
It's
Okay.
it's going to be set at 528 hertz.
All right.
I got it.
Specific
Okay.
frequency, Mom.
I
You don't
totally understand it.
yeah, you don't have to do any of this stuff, dear.
And
You
that
don't.
requires electricity, right?
You don't have to do any of this stuff.
But
You don't have to
but
do any
this
of it.
is
I'm
something-
just going to give you suggestions. The grounding sheet does not require electricity. You could drive a copper rod into the earth and tie it to it.
No, but the white noise machine requires electricity, right?
Yeah, just unplug the TV and plug this in.
Yes.
If you have a TV, you probably
Right,
have
capable of
electricity at the
doing
room.
that. Sorry.
I'll take care of it, Terry.
I have a very long extension cord though that reaches
Don't-
the one plug in the living room. Sorry, I'm
Mm.
just saying all my obstacles to what you're talking about. It's not.
I know, and you're
but
really
I
good at it.
want to do
Very good.
everything you're telling me.
Hun, you're good at putting up the obstacles. Just if you'll give me a moment, because I'm going to have solution for these. Because I got to tell you, there's nothing more frustrating than, I mean, because you've been a vital, vibrant gal for, 70 years, 3/4 of a century. And now your body's breaking down and you're thinking that you might be closer to leaving the planet than you are being here.
I want to.
And if you were emotionally okay with that, you'd be mentally sick. Okay, so being frustrated, okay, is absolutely normal. Heck yeah. But luckily, you got a ton of people around that love you, and I've only known you for a half hour, and I love you. Okay, now, can we get on with this?
Yes.
Okay, you keep putting up the barriers. I'll knock that sucker down. Okay, there's only 3 things we got to fix. Now you're going to think I got Alzheimer's because I repeated this about a dozen times. Okay, physical stressors. That's going to be taken care of by a couple of the exercises that you could do sitting up. I'm even going to send you an exercise thing that you could do to get your neck curve back, which we're going to need to get healthy lung function. We got a no-charge half-hour consult waiting for a chiropractor if we find one up there, or you get your butt down here, either to Mexico or Huntington Beach. Okay, then you're doing the pelvic health video where you've got the exercise that you just did. And hun, you just started this. And you said you were sitting taller in this chair. And I said taller in the saddle because I'm a Western fan. And then we bonded with our love for John Wayne. Okay, then the juicing and blending. Okay, you're just going to be working an hour a week. If not, you take it over to a juice place because we want the soluble fibers to clean the arteries. Your body's been in stress for decades. That means the arteries aren't going to be clean. And we're going to see that on the set of x-rays that we want. That's why I'm going to give you a half-hour no-charge consult so I can talk to the chiropractor and tell him how to get you better. The vibration and percussion machine that the chiropractor was using, if he set it at 10 cycles a second, it would help. It was set as a higher frequency, it would not help. Okay, so there's ways to work with somebody that's had fractures of the spine, and there's ways that some people who are less experienced do. Okay, so now we've got the physical stress taken care of, okay, by the exercises and the chiropractor. They're doing a distractive force on your spine, so you're literally decompressing that area and the bones are starting to regenerate. The discs that haven't been moved in a long time are going to start to regenerate. Then you're also going to take care of some of the physical stressors by doing the little tiny exercises you're going to see on the pelvic health video I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you a huge email with a bunch of videos and a bunch of stuff that you can read. So this is all going to be there, plus it's recorded. Okay? Now you're going to start to alkalinize the system and clean the blood by doing a juicing and blending and plant-based diet. Okay, that's going to be essential to stop the fractures and to get the system alkalinized, because that's what the fractures caused. Then you solve the sleep issue, okay, where you're literally going to be journaling, reading, you put nightshades on, not a scarf. You have a white noise machine to take out the auditory influence. You're going to go to bed at 10 to 10:30. You're going to stay up till 10 to 10:30. You're going to get out of bed at 4 to 4:30, and then all day long like gangbusters, no nap or anything else. The next night, you're going to journal, read, put the nightshades on, go to bed at 10 to 10:30, out of bed at 4 to 4:30. And what do you think? You're going to be exhausted, because the first 3 days you had like 4 hours sleep, exhausted and pissed. And that's normal. Okay, so by the third night, your journaling is going to consist of Bergman's right about a bunch of stuff, but I'm different, I'm special. Okay, you are special and different, but hun, if you follow this within 5 days, everybody is guaranteed to get through the night. Okay, now you're up 4:30 in the morning. Okay, you stagger over to the kitchen. Because remember, we've got to get your body healthy. You're in a sympathetic dominant or stress state. Okay, you got one bowel movement a day, which means that stress state is affecting you. We've got to detox your system.
I have usually 2.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to get you up to 4. It's just knowing that you've had fractures, it means that your blood is toxic, and also you're in a stress state. You're in a sympathetic dominant state. In order to regenerate tissue, we've got to get that parasympathetic nervous system working. Now, there's a thing called viscera somatic. Viscera is organ, soma means body. If we stimulate the organ tissue, that stimulates that parasympathetic and gets you back in a more harmonious balance instead of such a stress state. So now, also, knowing that you've had the massive aluminum exposure, okay, and I mean every other toxic stuff in the planet, you're going to have a leaky gut, hence part of the abdominal swelling. So we have to rush blood to the gut and heal the gut, because that's 80% of the immune system. And I'm going to show you how to heal the gut.
So the gut is, my gut being so huge, because I look like I'm ready to deliver a 10-pound baby. That's the combination of my spine and
the stress.
Leaky gut.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the spine is one, but the spine is only one of the 3. There's 3 stressors. Physical. What was the other one?
Chemical and emotional.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good. So you mentioned 1. Okay, we got to fix all 3. Okay. Now, if you were to take a hot cloth and put it on your arm and take it away, what color do you think your arm would be?
Red.
Oh, thank goodness. You didn't say you didn't have a hot water bottle to heat up. So what we're going to do, what you did with the hot cloth, see, the brain, if it senses a difference in temperature, it's going to increase blood flow to equalize that temperature throughout. So by putting the hot cloth there, you trick the brain in order to get healthy blood or blood flow to that.
She likes to use ice packs a lot on her back.
And hot water bottles.
Yeah, you're going to not use the hot water bottles on the back ever again.
No, I haven't. I haven't this whole year. I haven't used it.
Okay, yeah. Ice will be okay, but that's going to decrease the blood flow and it's not going to really help heal it. The stupid little mason jar that you just did, that will help heal it a heck of a lot more. Okay, and you had it back there for 20 minutes, you take it out for 10 minutes, so 20 minutes in, 10 minutes out. This means every minute you're sitting, we're turning that into work. Also, you're going to see in the cervical health video, because we got to get the curve back in the neck, you're going to see little things that you're going to do to get that curve back in the neck. But now we're talking about healing the gut. So in the morning, you get over to the kitchen and you're going to need about a half a quart. Okay, you're talking about, well, let's go with 16 ounces. You're going to get 16 ounces of water, but it has to be hot almost as hot as tea. And this is the second hardest exercise I'm ever going to have you do. But what you got to do, you're going to heat that water up almost as hot as tea. Not so hot where you're going to get burned, but you got to drink that water down in the space of a minute. Okay, so you have a pound of water. Remember, my grandma would say a pint equals the pound, the whole world round. So this, well, it's helpful because this way, when you know pint, it means 16 ounces. So you got a pound of hot water in the gut. And then what you do, you put your elbows on the kitchen counter. You stand away from the kitchen counter so the tummy's hanging in the air. Then you're going to force your tummy out, then force it in. Force it out, and force it in. So what this is going to do, this is going to force the hot water through the intestinal tract. Now, your intestinal tract, this is 80% of your immune system. This is also where neurotransmitters are produced. When we look at a gut on an x-ray that shows a leaky gut, we know anxiety, stress, and depression, because that's where neurotransmitters for the brain are produced. So this is going to help along with the emotional aspect, but it's also going to help along with the physical aspect of actually getting your immune system working correctly. Okay, now you do this for about 3 minutes. Now you're going to get hot, okay, because this is rushing of blood to an area that's been damaged. This is why it's all swollen. That inflammation is coming from chronic stress or low protein absorption, and also too decreased nerve supply or chronic stress state. When you're in a chronic stress state, you have low blood supply and nerve supply to the intestinal tract, and that's where 80% of the immune system is. After doing this for about 3 minutes, I would not go on a long car ride because you're going to poop like a goose. Okay, it's going to have a good bowel movement, and that's ideal. And that's also going to alkalinize you. So think of this. You're finally going to be getting deep sleep throughout the night. This is when your body is regenerating tissue at its highest point. And then in the morning, you're stimulating that parasympathetic nervous system. So it stimulates your detoxing of that because your body's got to break down tissue and build it up. Okay, now we have to work on the emotional aspect. And emotions are chemicals secreted by how the brain perceives the environment, not what's happening. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, if I show you a picture of a puppy dog. Now, Terry, I'm showing you a picture.
Mom.
I'm looking.
Okay? If you see this picture of a puppy dog and you thought, oh no, that dog's going to poop on the carpet, chew my shoes, be a lot of work, I can't walk. Why did my daughter send? Your brain is going to be sending stress hormones down and your body's going to responding to that. Okay? Adrenaline, cortisol, and it's going to weaken your body's ability to build. Now, if I show you the exact same picture of a puppy and you thought, oh my gosh, finally I got companion, I got my best friend, I'm going to cuddle, they're going to nibble my neck, I'm going to get goosebumps, dopamine and serotonin are going to be secreted. So it's not the stimulus. It's really based on your programming. And you've been hurt for a long time, dear. Okay, and neurons in the brain program to survive. Okay, and this anxiety, stress, and depression, you are firing off on all cylinders, but you've been practiced at it. Okay, and so this is, it's those kind of emotions are easy. Now, there's a way to reprogram the brain. Okay, and this works on people that have had massive post-traumatic stress. Okay, we're talking, you see your buddy blown up. It's worked on parents that have lost kids right before their eyes. It's worked on rape victims. It's worked on everyone. Okay, so understand that what's more important, the physical, chemical, or emotional? Or are they all three equally important?
I'd say they're equal.
And you would be absolutely correct. See, I'm telling you, your grandkids need you. Plus, I like you. Okay, so now I'm going to send you a sheet, and this sheet has 2 boxes of words. The box on the bottom are self-talk words that 100% of the people on our planet say to themselves. And it's a trip. I mean, I talk to people from everywhere you can imagine. Saudi Arabia, India, New Zealand, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. And it doesn't matter the language. We all use the same words. So you will see familiar words in that box. Okay? There's a box of words on the top that are a sample box. But what we're doing is programming your subconscious. Now, the subconscious does not have an emotional component. So these are not affirmations. This is stuff you just got to do. It's like trudging through the sand, walking on the beach. You just got to get through it. Okay? And this is an exercise you're going to do 10 minutes 3 times a day. Okay, minimum. And it involves body posture, volume, intonation, and breathing. You're literally going to be reprogramming. You started off with I am, and it has to be in a present tense. It's literally going to look like I am healthy, I am dynamic, I am vibrant, I am strong, I am connected, I am compassionate, I am, over and over and over again. You don't have to believe it. You could feel like pooped warm over, particularly if you do it in the first 5 days of doing the sleep restriction. Because 100% out of 100% of the people are going to be more sore, uncomfortable, but they're going to be surprised that they're sleeping through the night, not getting up to pee. It only works 100% of the time. Have you ever baked anything?
Not recently.
No, but you have in your past.
In the past, I was a wonderful baker and got compliments all the time and thought of opening a bakery or a business where you cook things for people. Yes.
Okay, so let's take the best Toll House cookies you ever made. If you'd leave an ingredient out, would it turn out okay?
Depends on the ingredient.
Okay, let's leave out any ingredient. Would it turn out the same?
No, it would be different.
Okay. Oh, so that means that you have to do exactly everything I'm telling you.
Yeah, tell me about
and then
the
you'll get
water
the
again,
answer.
please, because
What, dear?
I know it's on the video, but it's at the end of the video. I want to start.
Hon, I know. I'm going to tell you a couple of things. What did you want to know?
Tell me about the hot water again.
Okay, the hot water.
16 ounces of hot water. It's
You got it. Hot water.
For me to stand.
And it's got to be good filtered water, not funky tap water.
Yeah.
Okay. And you heat it up almost as hot as tea. You heat it up almost as hot as tea. You have to drink it down in the space of 1 minute. Okay. Then you're going to put your elbows on the kitchen counter. You're going to stand away from the kitchen counter so your tummy's hanging in the air. And then you're going to force your tummy out, then force it in. Force it out, then force it in. Over about 3 to 4 minutes. You're going to poop like a goose afterwards, okay? But this is going to rush blood to the area. It's going to help you get out of the stress state because it's stimulating the parasympathetic.
Okay, so it's 1 minute forcing the air in and out.
No, you're going to be doing this. You're not forcing the air in and out. Okay. You're not breathing in and out.
I'm forcing my stomach in and out for
yes,
how long?
You drink 16 ounces of water,
right?
Hot water, not as hot as tea, but hot, and you have to drink it down. You have to, no lemon, no salt, nothing. We don't want to stimulate gastric secretions. You drink it down in the space of 1 minute.
Right.
You drink it down in the space of 1 minute. So you have this ball of hot water in your gut. Then you stand up, you put your elbows on the kitchen counter, and then you force your tummy muscles out, then force your tummy muscles in. Your tummy muscles out, your tummy muscles in for about 3 to 4 minutes.
3 to 4 minutes.
You're going to get hot. And then afterwards, you will poop.
Okay.
Now, the I am exercises. Okay. Now, depression and anxiety are practiced in you.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your past, you have developed certain emotional responses that has let you survive, okay? But also, the more anxiety, stress, and depression you experience, it puts you in a stress state. So this is an exercise you're going to be doing 10 minutes 3 times a day. but also there's triggers around your house. Like you're going to see, you know, a mom with a kid, or you hear about, you know, a special needs kid that died, and you're going to think about your son or something. And then that'll start a cascade of emotion that sucks you into the pit of depression. So there's going to be times throughout the day that you can use this. And this is a way to change the firing of the neurons in the brain, because they're firing like this because you practice this. Okay. And now you're not going to forget all of the pain and stress and everything else. It's just, it's not going to be at the forefront. And this is a way to control that. Now we know anxiety, stress, depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia are all in the frontal lobe.
My mother was bipolar. I've had stress my entire life, if you can believe that.
I believe it. Everybody has.
Entire life.
Darling, most people on the planet have experienced stress their whole life. Okay. And bipolar disorder means that your mom had a dysfunction of her frontal lobe. Your mom also had physical, chemical, and emotional stress that were not addressed correctly or effectively. And so she adapted to this by having an emotional state where one half was always happy, the other half was always depressed. Okay? That was an adaptation of a frontal lobe dysfunction. I'm going to show you how to fix your frontal lobe if you want. Do you want me to give you the tools to do this, or are you enjoying what you got now?
What I have now is killing me, so.
Well, no, hon, you're practiced at it, and you keep on developing those same emotional responses because it's easy and familiar, and you practiced it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that this emotional state isn't going to help your body heal. Okay.
I know that.
Okay. And there's a way to reprogram the subconscious, and you will be able to do it. Okay.
Mom.
And I could tell you how to do it. Do you want to learn?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we know it's the frontal lobe, and your mom had the same problem too.
And
And you
all of her siblings too. There were 12 children, and they were almost all bipolar. I just found that out recently.
Okay, so they were almost all toxic and deficient. They all had physical, chemical, and emotional stress loads. They all were never taught how to deal with it effectively.
Yeah.
Okay, and so it is not a hereditary disease. This is stuff the entire family did, and if they had somebody to tell them about the physical, chemical, and emotional stress load, they could have had a better quality of life and a better appreciation for what the world has to offer. Okay. Now, do you want to learn how to break this cycle?
Sure.
Because honestly, Erin right now is a rock solid. I mean, she's used every experience that she's had to turn herself into an amazing friggin' person and an amazing mom. Okay. Her kids may hear about the bipolar depression and anxiety that their family heard. Now, her kids may be exposed, and I'm talking when they're 20 and 30 years old. Okay, not now. But if they hear, oh, it's hereditary by some asshole physician, they can own it. You have a chance to break this cycle. So it's not about you. It's about your grandkids when they're 30 or 40, or their kids. So you're going to break the cycle now. It is not a hereditary thing. It's a dysfunction of the frontal lobe, and I'm going to give you the tools to fix it. Got it?
Okay.
Now, you can do two things, okay? Every time, because there's a way it involves body posture, volume, intonation, and breathing. And this is basic. You're going to do it 10 minutes, 3 times a day. But also, you're going to be doing the leg swinging exercises. You're going to be doing a bunch of exercises to stabilize the pelvis and get your knees working. Anytime you're swinging your legs or cross crawling, you're stimulating the cerebellum. The cerebellum controls the frontal lobe. So right now you're thinking your mom and her 12 siblings all had some type of cerebellar dysfunction. That means they had physical trauma, chemical trauma, or emotional trauma. And that's what caused their adaptation of their frontal lobe. That's what actually happened. It wasn't a dysfunction of the brain. Okay, now everybody, every genius on the planet, every pauper on the planet, somebody that just barely knows how to assemble widgets. If they're frustrated or stressed, don't they typically go for a walk? I just got to go for a walk to calm down.
Mhm.
That's because symmetrical movement stimulates the cerebellum, and this has a calming effect on the brain. Have you seen someone with Parkinson's?
I look like I haven't.
Have you ever seen someone with Parkinson's?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. Do they move their hands a lot?
I don't know. I haven't seen her in years. I know her head would wobble like this.
Okay, so you're noticing on people with Parkinson's in the past
And
that
she
they've had movements of their body.
Yeah.
That's because movement triggers dopamine. Why do you think you got the hand tremor?
Stress.
It adds dopamine to your system. It's your body reacting to what's
It's
going
your
on.
body, exactly. It's your body surviving, hon. It's your body adapting. That movement is stimulating the cerebellum, which is going to have a calming effect on you.
So you're telling
So
me
that's your body healing itself.
my shaking hands are a good thing?
It's your body adapting. Yes, I am. It's uncomfortable because you haven't been taught the skill set or the reason. You've been in the most dysfunctional medical system the world's ever seen.
Mhm.
Okay? And your body is built by God and smarter than any doctor. It is adapting to a chronic state of stress, physical, chemical, and emotional stress. And it's doing a great job. Okay, it's drawing off of the bones in order to alkalinize the system. It's giving you symmetrical movements in order to survive. It's having your brain fall into this consistent emotional stress state pattern out of comfort because these emotions have been there for so long.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes, I'm saying your body is intelligent, your brain is intelligent, and you're adapting to this. I'm suggesting that we alter the physical, chemical, and emotional stress so that you're able to experience life in a better circumstance. Okay?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Aaron, I didn't just beat up your mom.
No,
I love her.
I know. I love her too.
Okay, good. I know. Wayne loves you too. Hun, you got a lot of love. You got probably more tears than love, but you got a lot of love. Okay. So now, this is what you do. You're going to have emotional triggers throughout the day. And this is because your brain is familiar with this.
Mhm.
Like, have you ever heard of anyone, I'm talking really rich, good looking, famous, commit suicide?
Yeah.
Yes.
All the time. So despite a person's circumstances, they can master an emotional state and create an entire physiology. What I'm telling you is that this is a skill set that you can reprogram your brain. It just requires certain skills. And it's like baking. If you leave an ingredient out, it won't turn out as good. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Now, so this involves body posture, volume, intonation, and breathing. You do not have to believe it. These are not affirmations. You have to just do it consistently 10 minutes, 3 times a day. But when you get that trigger, okay, that anxiety, stress, and depression, if you can walk, okay, how far can you walk without a lot of discomfort?
I can't answer that question.
1 minute or no
I'm
time at all?
in the house all day long, day after day after day. I don't hardly ever go outside anymore because I'm afraid of falling again.
Okay, are you able to walk across the house for like a minute without a lot of discomfort?
Yeah. I mean, I hurt all the time.
Okay,
I'm never
okay.
not in pain.
That's okay because movement is going to alkalinize the system. Now, have you seen the walking sticks that people are walking with now?
I have a 4-footed cane, and my doctor said it's a good thing to use it. So I don't use it in the house unless I'm having spasms, because if I fall again, I don't know if I'll get up.
Okay, so now we have to go walking, and you can walk back and forth in your house. Just pick a hallway or something that you can walk consistently at least 5 steps.
Yeah.
Okay, I would get 2 poles. Okay, and if you don't have a pole, get a mop, take the handle out, and there you got a pole. Okay, so this way you can get used to walking with the poles. Plus, walking with the poles is also going to give you an upper body workout, and it's also going to be tapping the ground when you're tapping the poles, and that's going to have a vibrational aspect as well. Eventually, by walking in the house with the poles, you're going to get more confident. When we get you off of the diuretic, your balance is going to improve dramatically, because this is losing fluid in your system, but it has an effect of decreasing oxygen to the brain. And it says right on the label that it causes balance issues. Okay, and I'm going to show you in here on how to deep breathe to check your blood pressure. And you're going to find out it's too low. You're going to deep breathe 10 minutes with your arm level with the heart, and you're going to find out the blood pressure is dangerously low. The doctor will be alerted to this, and he'll get you off of that damn drug. Okay? So you're walking at least, if you can walk 5 minutes, beautiful. You're going to walk 5 minutes 5 times a day. Okay, we got to get you up to 20 minutes of movement every day. Now, the movement that you're going to be doing, 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. You can do it down the hallway, do it inside.
Does it have to be walking?
Yeah, unless you're good at elevating. I just want you to walk up and down the hallway.
It wouldn't count to ride my stationary bike.
No, darling.
I have to be
You can do the stationary bike just for shits and giggles, okay? The walking is going to be for increasing vibration, because every time your foot hits the ground, that sends a vibrational aspect up into the body, and that triggers cells called osteoblasts to regenerate bone.
Right.
So the walking is the best solution for osteoporosis. If you can, get a vibration plate, okay? That's going to be the absolute best. Where that exercise, you just got to stand on it, okay? And get one set it around 30 cycles a second. That would be ideal. Because we have some people that are missing legs, okay, that also have this, and so we get them on a vibration plate to stimulate that vibrational aspect that you're going to get from walking. Once you get off of the diuretic and you get more confident, and you're always going to be using 2 sticks, always going to be using 2 sticks. So this will give you confidence and give you more distance. But that walking, that symmetrical movement of the arms will move your body side to side when you're walking, kind of like you're swinging around in a chair now.
Yeah.
But that's going to be pulling on the ribs, and the ribs are going to be pulling on the thoracic area. And this little bit of movement is going to stimulate bone growth. Okay, my dear?
Yes, I better come live with you, Aaron, because there's nowhere in my house where I can walk using 2 sticks without running into something.
Well, yes, you can definitely come stay here, Mom.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Uh,
All right.
Hun,
I'll try and figure out how to do it.
if you're being overwhelmed, okay?
I'm overwhelmed.
I know, hun, it's a lot. We're only fixing 3 things. We're going to fix the physical stress by sitting with the water bottle or the mason jar, okay, and doing the exercises for the pelvis and getting your feet and knees working correctly, okay, and getting the curve back of the neck, okay, and the chiropractor is going to be doing that. So that's in the done pile. The chemical stressor is going to be the whole food supplements, juice and blending, and plant-based diet. Man, that's done. That's really easy.
The diet, yes. So I think I've given her some bad advice because I've been having her do bone broth and.
Yeah, bone broth is great because that's right now she is massive protein deficient.
But that's not plant-based though, so.
Hun, believe me, plant-based is not or vegan. It's mainly your diet is going to be plants.
Okay.
Okay, so eating animal products once a week to once a month, like having omega-3s and fish oil, like anchovy, mackerel, sardine, the bone broth, all of that's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
and plus,
not in large quantities throughout the week, just a little bit.
Well, the tough part, yeah, because if you're eating animal products every day, she's not producing enough stomach acid to break the proteins to amino acids.
Okay.
So, the longest lived people on the planet eat animal products once a week to once a month.
So not
Yeah.
not a lot of raw cheese and stuff like that, Mom.
No, because that's going to make the body more acidic.
You don't
The
need-
dark green leafy vegetables are fantastic for getting minerals into the system, because it's not calcium that you're missing, it's all the minerals in the system.
Yes.
Okay, so the chemical stressor is taken care of by that. And also, too, you've reset your circadian rhythms. You got really cool nightshades. You're journaling and reading, and you put the nightshades and the white noise machine. No longer do you have the TV influence where you're going to be moving around all night long, not getting the deep sleep. Okay, eventually, and I'm talking within a month, you're going to be sleeping in the bed. Okay, within a month, you're going to be sleeping in the bed. Trust me. I mean, 9 fractures is an easy one. 12 fractures is harder. And if I can get that gal to sleep in bed within a month, yeah. Unless you want to, say, I can do it in 2 weeks. If you want to be a little cocky, that's okay.
That person is dead.
No, darling. That person is been put in the back burner of your frontal lobe because you've needed the anxiety and stress to survive. Okay, so now, we're going to reprogram the brain, because the anxiety, stress, and depression has been an adaptation of you surviving to trauma. This has been your mechanism. But realize that this is in part of the brain called the frontal lobe. Okay, now you can change this by stimulating this back part of the brain through the cerebellum. So when you're just sitting on the edge of something and your legs are dangling, okay, just like you're going to see in the pelvic health video, by doing that symmetrical swinging, that causes stimulation of the cerebellum, and it has a calming effect. I mean, what would Einstein and Newton do when presented with a problem? He'd go for a walk, because walking would have a calming effect on the frontal lobe, and it would make things more clear. If you could walk in a circle, that would be fine. I mean, Wayne, if you could set up a rope issue in the backyard or something where she could walk along the rope, that would be fine, just to build her confidence. Okay, when she gets real confident, we'll put a slack line up so you could walk on that. Of course, you don't know what a slack line is. A slack line's a little piece of webbing, and you got to balance on it.
Yeah.
You're not up there yet, but you will be, my dear. Okay, and then you're going to see how to check your blood pressure correctly on the blood pressure video. And I'm going to get all this stuff off to you probably in the next half hour.
So you're going to email it?
Oh, buddy, I'm going to email it to whoever email I got.
I think you have mine, but can you send it to both of us?
Yeah, here, let me get.
Dad, you need to give your email address.
When the doctor.
Okay, now, do you have any questions so far?
Not really. I mean, I appreciate what you're saying, and I think we
Okay.
just have to review it and take action. I do have one question. Let me give you the email for me.
Yeah, go for it.
WA Mills, MILLS, at Sonic, SONIC .net, NET.
Is there any like dots? It's WAMills@sonic.net.
Correct.
Awesome.
Okay, I have a question on adjustments. If we were there in your backyard, how often would you be adjusting her, say for the first month?
In the first month, at least 3 times a day. At least 3 times a day. And the adjustments would be separated by around 2 hours. And in between those 2 hours, she would be juicing, drinking water, doing little cross crawl exercises, just sitting down, relaxing, enjoying herself. But it's 3 adjustments a day, 5 days a week on patients that come from far away. And these are even some local patients do that same schedule.
5 days a week?
5 days a week. Within 2 weeks, we get post X-ray changes. Within 3 days, we're getting significant changes in blood pressure, digestion, and sleep patterns. The whole thing is the adjustment is not for the body. Okay, it's to get her out of this autonomic stress state circumstance. And once we get her out of that state, to get her body from the sympathetic dominant into a more harmonious balance, then her body can function correctly.
Okay, so the other part to the question, and forgive me for using the word radical change, because in essence, it's kind of what you're prescribing, which I understand. And I appreciate your time. But the question I have is that if we were to bring her down and just dedicate X amount of days to this process with her, would it be a 2-week process to make a radical change? If we can't find, I'm not real warm and fuzzy with finding a doctor up here. I'm not trying to be negative. It comes natural.
But you're being accurate. It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
It's here in Oregon too. I've been looking. I know I have your list. It's very hard to find somebody.
I'm training docs, and we're trying to set up a school. And docs are observing. Like I've got a doc from Bangkok at the Huntington Beach office, and a guy from Belgium coming out next week at the Mexico office.
Well, then it's a 2-part question. Number one is how long, if we said let's come down, how long?
You froze, Dad. Try it again.
How long would you want?
But he froze kind of like a Jedi warrior. I kind of like that. Sorry, no, wait. We were just remarking that you froze like this, and it looked kind of like a Jedi warrior. It looked really cool.
But we've taken a lot of your time, and I'm respectful of that. So I want to back up. How long would you want her down there for in the initial period?
If she makes it, I'd probably bring her to the Mexico office first, and I'd figure at least a week. And we're right next to the hotel. But what we do down here is we do a full body thermography. We do a live blood cell analysis, any kind of stress x-rays. But down here, we've got the detoxing stuff. And this, we could find out if there is, because I know you've had dental work in the past, and they may have removed done the dental work correctly. They may have not done it correctly. Okay. And so we've got the holistic dentist down here to see if there's any clinical or subclinical infections in there. But I'd at least a week. And the hotel cost around, I think it's like $80 or $90 a night. And our initial exam is like $500, $495, I think it is. And the IVs, like if we do a detoxing IV, that's like $120. The nutrient IVs, like glutathione to help the brain and the liver, that's like $60. So, my wife had, just severe ulcerative colitis and vitiligo and a bunch of crap from bad medical care for 20 years before she met me. And she had to do 10 detoxes. And her skin started to turn white and vitiligo. And I don't know if you think this, but girls are really sensitive about their looks. Guys, we're just naturally good looking. Okay, but when my wife started to get these white patches everywhere, it really freaked her out. And now she's got color in the skin back, but she's done like 10 detoxes.
Wow.
Okay, so, really based on the toxicity of the system,
How much is a regular visit with you?
The regular adjustments, $65. This is why if we can find someone close that does the same thing, it's like a 60 adjustments is like $3,500, and that includes all the x-rays and everything, because we do post x-rays and scans at 30 adjustments and then at 60 adjustments. So we're always monitoring how the body is improving. Okay. Boy, they say every time you hear an angel gets their wings.
Yep.
Yeah, it's work texting now. So.
Okay, price of popularity, Wayne.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and then with the detoxing and the dental, if they find a couple of cavitations, that's going to be probably a couple of grand, maybe $1,000 or less.
Is there another chiropractor down there that works with you in Mexico?
Yep. Yeah. And that's because I'm only down here Thursday and Friday, but Dr. Eric is here Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
Okay. And I know we ran over like
A lot. Thank you.
yeah, but believe me, Terry, you're so friggin' worth it. You got so much love and you got so much hurt. I mean, you just opened a big part of my heart. I always figure about 45 minutes for a half-hour conversation. I typically don't figure an hour and 20 minutes. But luckily, the guy at 7 o'clock canceled, so I was able to hang with you folks. So this is really, it's like a thank God moment.
Thank you. I
Okay,
love
so-
talking to you every Tuesday.
Oh, wait.
Just a real quick recap here.
Yeah.
You're going to email a package of information. This has been recorded, so I'm going to be able to save it. It's already saved, obviously, but I'll get it set up so Terry can watch it again. And then you're going to email.
Yeah, the email is going to have a series of actions written down, and then a video explaining those actions, then a series of actions, and then a video explaining the actions.
Okay, that's
So this is like ridiculously clear.
I understand, and I appreciate that. Okay.
Okay. Now, any questions, my dear?
No.
You're surrounded by love, and you're going to get better. I'm just thinking about your grandkids' kids. You need your influence. It's a lot. It's a lot of work,
Thank
but
you.
you're going to do it, my dear.
I appreciate your time. We appreciate your time.
Because
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you folks, and you're going to get better, dear.
God bless you for what you do.
Well, God did bless me. He sent me you guys. Yeah. I love you, dear.
All right.
Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
thanks, Dr. Bergman.
Bye.